Three, two, one. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mike Bird, and you are listening to another episode of Hammered. I hope everybody had a great day. Today's episode, I've got in studio the lovely Laura helping me co-host. What's up, girl?
Aw, hi. I'm lovely today. Thank you.
Well, that's great. It's great to have you here, Laura.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here.
So Laura, today we have Miss Stephanie Lynn. She's on the Hammered Hotline. How's it going, Stephanie?
Hey, going good, going good. No complaints over here.
So Stephanie, you are part of our musical talent in the Triangle area.
Yeah.
You are what? You're a lead singer for a band called Rebels Foxes.
Yeah, Rebels Fox. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So tell us a little. Well, first off, before we start, people that may not know anything about you, give us a little brief bio on you.
Oh, all right. So
It doesn't have to be brief. You can go on.
So my name is Stephanie Lynn. I'm a musician out here in the Triangle area, and I'm originally from New York, believe it or not. But I've been down here about 3 years, and I got into music started the band about 18 months ago, and about 12 of those months have been pandemic, so it's been a good time. But yeah, we started off with, I kind of got into it all of a sudden. Down here, I wrote an original song that I put out on the internet, and I had played guitar for a little while, and I had a written original song after I went through some stuff and posted it. And a couple of people reached out to me, including Jeremy Burns, who said him and Jason Adamo were playing a show soon, and they wanted me to come sit in on their break or come play a couple with them. And a couple of songs is really all I knew at that time, but I said yes anyways because it's Jason Adamo, Jeremy Burns.
So
and
let me stop you there because a lot of people don't know who that is, including myself.
Jason Adamo, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, tell us about him.
All right. So Jason Adamo, and I hope I'm telling the story to his justice, but he's a country artist in the area. And not only is he a country artist, he's a songwriter, and he's a really, really, really good one. So much so that Brett Young has one of his songs called "Beautiful Believer" that's been out, and I believe he's got a platinum record for his songwriting of that song. So he's kind of a local legend. He also does a radio show on QDR, Carolina Country Artist, I want to say, or Homegrown Country show. Yeah, so he's a hardworking guy out in the area, and he's an incredible artist. And yeah, so when someone like that says come play some songs with me, you get there.
So Jason Adamo is a big deal. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, he's a big deal, and he still plays here locally. Like, you can see him playing in Raleigh. He plays Clayton, all over the place, so you can catch. I mean, there's incredible talent in this area. It's unreal what you can go out and see for the price of a beer. It's incredible.
Well, I was told you were incredible talent.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
I was told that, by a mutual friend of ours. I call him the Bobcat.
Yeah, Bobcat.
Yeah, he said you were great and you'd be good on the show. So I'm glad you joined us tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Jason Adamo, he heard your music. He was like,
well, his buddy did, and Jeremy Burns was playing with him, and but still, I'll take it. So then I went and played their show in a local place that we still actually, I'm playing there Thursday. So this place that I went, my first show ever, Tavern on the Green. They just wanted me to keep playing, but at the time I really had no other music. I didn't know any other songs. I wasn't a musician on that level. I played guitar and I would learn songs here and there, and I was a songwriter, but I didn't play out like that. I didn't play out to anybody. And but after I went through, I wrote that original song, and it got me. It just pushed me out the door to moving pretty quick and being a really cool musician. I started a band like a couple months later, and we had our first show a couple months after that, and that was September 2019 was our first ever show as a band. And yeah, and then
And now here you
anyways,
are.
yeah.
You're moving
But
up,
yeah,
man.
that's how I got started, and that's a little bit where I'm from.
Well, I mean, you're on Hammered now. You're on this podcast.
I know. I made it.
National and international. You have finally made it, Stephanie. Um, so you're originally from New York.
I'm from New York, Syracuse, New York.
Ooh,
Oh.
cold.
Oh yeah, and snowy.
So you're missing New York right about now, huh?
Oh, not at all. No. I've done shoveling for my whole lifetime, I think.
Yeah,
I'm good.
they've been getting hammered now for like, well, I want to say the past month.
Yeah, yeah. And it's gonna keep coming for them too. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're not. You're like, get them shovels and get out there.
I'm down here, please.
I'll take my guitar and set up a snow shovel.
Yes. Send friends and fam from New York. Come on down.
So you just started this band, right?
Yeah.
How did you start the band? Did you put an ad out, or did you know people? How to start?
So after the Jason Adamo situation, I started doing open mics out in the area, and so I kind of got my feet wet into what I wanted to do. And then also I knew a friend, our original bass player was TJ Bradish, and he was like, he's been telling me since I met him about a year before that, a year and a half before that maybe, that anytime you want to start a band, I'll start a band with you any day. He's heard me sing before, and he's like, anytime you want to start a band, let me know when you're ready. And it was kind of what I thought was a joke, but finally after that, he was like, no, I'm serious. If you want to start a band, I'll play bass in your band anytime you want. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's start a band. And so him and I started a band, and we pulled in Trey Richardson on drums, and we had Bobby Pleasant, who was our kind of temporary guitar player. And these all just came from friendships and musician friendships that we all had in the area, and all came together and decided to be a band.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's
So
a shame I don't have any talent, because I want to start a band.
do it.
You
can be the hype man or something.
Look,
I have no words. I'm like,
I've got plenty of words. You ever heard me sing Prince Kiss? Yes. Thank you very much.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Impressive falsetto.
That's all I got, Stephanie. I just got Prince. That's it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Find some buddies. Find some talented friends. You join forces. You can't all have the same strengths.
I mean, I look at a lot of these singers nowadays. They can't sing either. They just,
I mean, honestly, that's such a small part of what it takes. It's such a small part of it.
Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time. They're like, oh, I don't sing that well. And you're like, if you can sing at all, that's all you need. You need passion and love and, work, a lot of work, but the actual, what you can't make up for in other ways, you're so limitless. If you have you don't need to have natural, beautiful, perfect voice. It's not what it's about. It's not why people come back to see you.
Yeah.
It's not all of it. It's such a small part of why people come to see you.
Well, you just hit on like the work. Okay. Like, how often do you practice with your band?
With the band now, not so recently. We were doing once a week when we got started, and up until Corona. And after Corona, we stopped getting together, obviously, for rehearsing, and a lot of the gigs slowed down anyways too. So we haven't had a whole lot of rehearsal time face to face, but we've had a few shows come in, so we've had rehearsals for then, and we've had since Corona, because now we're going on this is a year of time now at this point.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy to think about, but yeah, not that much with the full band, but we're getting back to it. We've got some rehearsals coming up, and we've got some exciting stuff we're working on. Hopefully, you're going to hear a lot of it real soon. So
Oh,
teaser.
can you give us like a little spoiler here? What you got working?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of people know we were in the studio last August and we've been working. We recorded 3 songs, and I think we finally agree on which one's the single. And it's going to be hopefully out on all the music platforms here real soon. And there may be a video coming down the pike, a music video to be determined to go with the single too. So we're working on that. And in addition to those songs, we were originally planning on maybe coming back and recording a full album, because we had recorded 3 already. We're going to maybe just go back out there, finish an album. But we're going to go ahead and drop these now just because Corona and things are weird with, studio time and people traveling and everyone being close still. So we're just going to go ahead and give them to you. We're going to go ahead and give them to you.
Well, remember me when you dropped that record, because I just started collecting vinyls again, and
Oh,
I would
nice.
love to have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Signed autograph, that'd be awesome.
All right.
So tell me about your music. It's like Southern rock, country.
Yeah, it's Southern rock and country. We play a lot of cover music out in the Triangle, a lot of cover shows. So at a lot of the shows that you'll see us at, we do a lot of Southern rock and a good amount of country. You'll get a lot of Miranda Lambert and all the girl stuff too. The girl power songs, of course. But I'm a little more, I'm from New York, but I love country music. I always have. But yeah, that Southern rock, kind of hits me a little hard too. So we keep a lot of that going in our cover shows. And then in our original music, we're definitely a little more of I don't even know, rock, alternative rock, country. I'm not even sure what you would put it as. It's kind of indie country, I guess.
Tell me who your major musical influences are.
Ooh, I mean, Stevie Nicks. Can we just who is it? She's probably on everybody's list. I mean, Stevie Nicks. Also, her real name is Stephanie Lynn. Just a little fun fact for everybody.
So I feel like that is no coincidence. You're named after a musical legend, and now here you are. You've kind of inherited that magically.
Yeah, the universe sent me Stevie Nicks, so I got to roll with it. But yeah, she's definitely a hero, not only because of obviously her music, and I feel like Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac are one of those bands where the more you listen to them over time, and as your experiences as a person evolve, you see the music from a different perspective too. And now that I'm a musician, I enjoy the musicianship before I enjoyed the melody, And yeah, they're a brilliant band. But also just for I guess you could argue the best how she handled things, but Homegirl went through a lot, and still pushed on with the music, was such a good songwriter. And even though, she had this history with a guitar player and all this drama, and it's impossible to keep people together without that, bands and careers. And she just had all this stuff going on in the background, and she still pushed on and still is a legend after all that. So it's just definitely inspiring to see, if you push on, just keep going, just don't give up on it. And even if everything falls apart, it's cool to see musicians that made it, that are legendary.
Growing up listening to Fleetwood, I'm just like, wow, what great music, even as a young kid with my dad. Yeah. But then growing up, and I'm like, wow, Fleetwood was a shit show, of a band.
And the more you hear about it, you're like, wait, what? And you're like, the guitar player that's playing there, hold on. And then you reevaluate all the lyrics too, because then you're like, so wait a minute, so that was about him, and she put him on that stage, and oh god,
you just connect the dots. You learn all these crazy stories, and then you listen back and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Wait a second. She's singing a song about her current guitar player while he's on stage,
okay, so I love that. So
I need to catch up on my Fleetwood Mac history here.
Yeah, so she dated the guitar player and they broke up and it wasn't pretty, but they still kept playing in the band together. And so she's got several songs that are about him that he had to like
Wow.
write guitar, he had to like write guitar to, and then just record it and then play it all over the place and watch her I don't know. I mean, obviously they made it work and I'm sure they had a friendship too if they made that work. I mean, they had to be adults in a lot of ways, but man, what a legend. What a legend.
These are all like major hits. Like when you turn on like the classic rock station and you hear Stevie.
Oh, Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Now here you go again. Like,
like
want your freedom? We'll go ahead and have your freedom. Like, oh, who am I to hold you down? And he's still on her, and he's still on her stage.
That is a level of petty I aspire to.
How he's sitting there strumming his guitar as the fans look at him with such disdain, like, she is singing about you, dude. Don't you?
I know, but he's such a good guitar player that you almost just kind of appreciate him too. Like, as much as I'm team Stevie Nicks, I'm also team Lindsay because, I mean, homie held it down. You know, a lot of weaker men would have failed. Yeah.
Successful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A weaker
the
man.
damn thing.
I need some Fleetwood Mac vinyls now. I'm gonna have to get on.
And you got to listen to all those hits. Like even just listen to Dreams. It came back after the Snapple situation. Was it Snapple? Cranberry? What's the Cranberry thing?
It was the Cranberry.
Yeah.
That TikTok.
But Dreams came back. Just listen to that one song and just know that he's playing guitar to it. So good.
It's true. Honestly, you don't even have to listen to the song. Just read the lyrics. Because I mean the lyrics are magical, but like you can feel the petty in the lyrics. It's great. It's truly magical.
I'm not going to be able to listen to Fleetwood Mac without having this guitar guy. What's his name? Y'all know his name? What was it?
It's Lindsay. I've been trying to think of it for a while. It's killing me that I can't think of his last name.
Well, Lindsay, I'm not going to be able to think about nothing but Lindsay when I hear Fleetwood Mac now. And that she's being petty the whole time she's singing.
Hey, that petty made them a fuck ton of money.
So a ton of money.
We're talking a fuck ton of money.
So much.
I think he's okay.
Yeah. Him and his whole next 17 generations of him is good.
Yep.
You know, over her, just, you know, as petty as it is, everybody in that situation won. Really. I mean, there's also some downsides to that too. I mean, Stevie Nicks is it's no secret she had some issues with drug abuse and stuff and suffered from that, but came through. But I mean, her just legend, just pure just legend, icon.
Man, I listened to Joe Rogan the other day and they were talking about all these iconic artists that put out stuff that's just amazing, lyrics that no one else could write but these people. And they all had one thing in common. They were all fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
They were all on drugs. They all had some kind of mental disorder.
And you know what? I feel like, I don't even know if I don't know a lot of things that they know, but I do know the heartache and pain that you go through, especially as a songwriter, or the level of, feeling that you have in order to put into a song has to be pretty extreme, to make you so upset or so hurt or so happy to want to take the time and focus and put a lot of work into something to bring it to light. You care a lot about what you're saying and what you're doing, and unfortunately, a lot of the strongest emotions out there are pain and heartbreak and anger. And it's hard when you write a song and you like it, because it's therapeutic to get it out and to, especially if it's something that's a little vindictive, you're like, or like a little angry. It feels so good just to say it out loud, but if it's something that you actually have to, sing over and over again, because I'm sure every songwriter writes a ton of songs that are just therapy. They're just starts to stuff. You get it out and you don't ever see it again. But some of those songs that are actually good and you got to keep singing them over and over and over again, you do feel it exactly. You feel how you felt when you wrote it. So if that song is about pain or heartache or anger, you get kind of angry every time you sing that song. And it's almost like opening a wound over and over and over again. So I feel like that's why a lot of like artists and musicians, in my theory, who am I, do like get super messed up. They get super messed up to deal with it. But you know what? They write good music, and that pain and that internal struggle is unfortunately kind of what feeds it, kind of what feeds the whole thing.
It fed their banks. These songs are like
and at the end of the day,
hits.
and you potentially have generations and generations ahead of you that can hear what you're saying and not feel like they're alone or going through the same thing at a very minimum, and potentially could be taken care of. Like you have, the more you have, the more success you have, the more you have to give,
Yeah.
So you have the more to leave behind, when someone says so-and-so is coming to do this, whatever charity event, if you ain't nobody, that's helpful and nice. But the more success you have, the more you can be like, yeah, I can help big time now.
Oh yeah.
Like, woo, let's do some big stuff, guys. Let's do some big stuff together.
Is that your goal? Is that something that you want to do?
Oh yeah, that's what drives my whole life. Because I don't know why I'm a good singer. Like, yeah, you can work on that and you can be better at it, but I didn't give it to myself. I was born that way. Why? I don't know. Why am I a good songwriter and poet and lyricist like that? And why? I don't know. I feel like you have it for a reason. And I hope that everyone has success in what they're doing and is living their true passion, because when you're feeding your true passion with true good, I feel like you're encouraged to do more of that by, whatever you subscribe to. It's a whole other conversation, but whatever you subscribe to, if you use your natural talents and passions to do good things and to do everything with a good heart and honorable heart, the doors just open for you for a reason, because you're someone that's trying to help others. So the more success you have, the more you can be a resource to others. Because if I'm just scraping by, I don't have anything to give anybody. And musician wise too, like if I barely have my own equipment, I can't loan it out to anybody else. If they need help or someone gets stuck, I can't be a resource. If I don't, there's so many ways you can go about it. But yeah, I do, I've done charity events since day one, and I'm always going to do that. But I hope that over time, me being there can be more helpful than, some really cool people that love me came to see me and it brought an extra $50 in the door for you guys tonight. I hope someday when I'm on a charity event, I can show up and it brings a lot of zeros to somebody's cause. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do, because that's the whole point, right?
I can see you got a passion for this. Yeah, I can see it in your face. Yeah.
My theory is the universe bestowed this gift of Stevie Nicks upon you. And you are now harnessing that, and you go on to play for the masses. You can't be given a name like Stephanie Lynn and not like just spearhead that. So like, I'm feeling it for you. The universe already decided.
Stevie Nicks, if you are out there listening, you need to surprise Stephanie Lynn at one of her shows. We're putting this out in the universe right now, Laura.
At the New York State Fair.
So
I saw her.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off. What'd you say?
Oh, I saw her one time at the New York State Fair, and it's like the epitome of my existence.
Oh, ultimate bucket list right there.
I can't imagine that feeling.
Maybe it'll come full circle and she'll come see you. How about that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Come on, Stevie, hang in there. I'm working hard, girl. I'm gonna make it.
So I want to talk about songwriting, because I think songwriters are some of the most talented people on this planet. Because
isn't it so cool?
If you give me a piece of paper, okay, and you put it in front of me and you say, okay, Mike, you've got, let's say 8 hours to write a song for $1 million. You come back in 8 hours, there might be 2 sentences there, or it might be a bunch of
It's a bunch of
jumble
doodles.
that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I've tried. I cannot. My brain doesn't function like that to write a song. But some artists can write a song in 20 minutes, like Chris Stapleton. He's one of the best. But I've heard some songwriters, they write songs for a couple of years before they're complete.
Yeah.
When did you first find out you could write a song?
Probably I was a teenager. I was a teenager for sure. Maybe even before I was a teenager. I always enjoyed like real small like short poems, and like not quite haikus, but I always really liked poetry, and I always was kind of drawn to words and symbolism and all that when I was young. And but poems weren't cool, but music was cool. So I didn't want to write poems, but I would write songs for whatever reason. There was a difference in my little brain. But yeah, I used to write songs when I was little. Like, I still remember some of them. I didn't play guitar when I was at that age, but I would write songs still. And yeah, I kind of always did when I was young, but I didn't learn to play guitar until I was maybe 17 or 18. And even then it was real rough for a long time. I would not
to write a song, you have to know how to play a guitar, right? You have to.
Well,
I don't know.
You can kind of write words and kind of have an idea how the words are bouncing in your head. Like you can kind of have an idea of where they're going, and like the difference between like a verse and a chorus, or sometimes, yeah, you can kind of write a melody in your head without any music, or sometimes it goes the other way around. Sometimes you write the music and you can't think of how words can lay on top of it. Yeah. It goes both ways.
A lot of rock bands, they would come up with the music first and then write the words according to the music, which is,
yeah. And honestly, I write all kinds of different ways. I think a lot of musicians do that. Like Taylor Swift says that too. Sometimes someone gives her a little clip of music and she listens to that, and she can write to someone else's music, or she writes, this chorus, but she can't figure out the rest of it. I do that too. I'll write half of a song. I'll write half songs. I write at least weekly, probably more than that. But I write these little beginnings, I guess is what they are. But sometimes I have some words in my head already, and I'm trying to figure out a guitar mood in chords. Like, is it dark, or is it like, fast, or is it slow? I'll try to find something to match what I'm thinking in my head. Or sometimes I'll write a really cool guitar thing, or I'll be doing something cool on guitar, and then I'll just start bouncing ideas on how that beginning made me feel. Like if I felt like, I don't know, like this song is super happy, then you're like, oh, what's this? Makes me think of summertime or whatever, I don't know, you start.
Well, what's your favorite song you've written so far?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, making you choose.
That's hard because there's so many variables, like music wise or like importance wise, or both. Just pick one.
Your favorite one to play in front of a crowd?
Oh, my favorite one to play in front of a crowd is Cowboy, because it's got a real kind of signature sound to it. And so the intro, as soon as you hear the intro, people know it. And it's kind of Miranda Lambert style. It's just mean. It's a mean song. And it's an angry song, and it just feels good. It feels good to remember to say what I'm saying, and it feels good when people know the words, and it's I don't know, it's just a fun one. That one's it's fun to play.
How about Wolves? That's one of yours too, right?
Yeah. That one's not on the we haven't recorded that one yet. Ooh. I'm excited to
well, what I was going to do is that the phone recording that you sent me, I was going to play that right now on the show, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Ooh, I love a little teaser.
So here we go. This is Stephanie Lynn with Wolves.
So this is my song. It's called Wolves. To the wolves, they come when I call. Why don't we let them out? What do you think? Let's see who comes. Let's see who runs. So they find they don't knock no more. Just come right through the door and take no prisoners. If you're gonna run, here they come. And it won't take but 2 or 3 to remember the man you used to be. Run forever. You some night, and in that case you're mine, oh darling. If you go, you better get running. Well, it won't take but 2 or 3 to remember the man you used to be. Run forever. They've got answers, and here they come.
Hey, so I really like your howling in the song towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a little carried away though, but I think I'm gonna keep it. It hasn't been recorded yet, so it can still grow. It can still grow.
I think you should definitely put that on the album.
Good. You know, that's the passion and the energy and the magic that you spoke on earlier about songwriting, and
Yeah.
that belongs there, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it in there.
I'm gonna try to find this song, Laura. Keep her busy.
Yeah,
I got to
sure
find this
thing.
song. I can't remember what the name of it was.
That's what I'm here for, the
Hold on.
entertainer.
Yeah.
So you started your band December 2019. You gained some.
Well, we started the band in August, but our first show was in September.
Okay, so we had a few months where we're playing around, we're jiving, we're doing shows, and then coronavirus. So we really had to kind of pull the plug on this momentum that we were building here. So what did you do, I guess, to kind of keep feeding that artistic beast in you where you're like, man, this was going, and then we came to a hard stop? How did you keep yourself busy, and how did you keep yourself motivated through this downtime?
Good question. So to how I fed myself is I do write a lot. When I'm home, like at the end of the day, I play guitar and sing almost every day. I just come, it's like I just relax. It's like my TV.
That's
you know, instead of sitting and watching TV, I'll just play guitar and kind of write. So I do that anyways. And during Corona, there was a lot more confusion going on and a lot more emotions and not understanding what was coming up, and things left and right were canceling. So that was, oh, there was a whirlwind there. So I kept myself pretty busy with songwriting and playing. Wolves was one of the songs that I wrote in quarantine, the beginning of Corona.
I just got chills and I don't know why. I was thinking about like, that again, those emotions that you're feeling. Honestly, the only way that I can kind of describe is like terror, where everyone kind of sees this thing looming and things are happening so fast and you're like, oh fuck, what now? And yeah, I can only imagine how that kind of pent up terror just kind of bubbled out and onto a page and in your head and created this melody.
It definitely fed a lot of things because there's so much to it, right? There's disappointment, there's the unknown, there's gosh, like a lot of, so you're watching your friends suffer. That's the worst. Watching your friends lose their businesses, watching, you know what I mean? Watching the hardest working people, just lose their businesses, lose venues that we used to play at are just closing for good.
Yeah.
For good. Like
crazy.
the emotions just crazy. I hope we have like a renaissance after this and art comes back and we're like, all right, we've had enough of the emotions. Let's all talk about them for the next decade instead of relive them, through art.
The question is though, when is this going to stop? When is it going to come back?
That is the question.
This is a whole can of worms here. If you want to get into it,
yeah, I was gonna say, don't get into it right now. We're just dreaming and manifesting of that day. The doors open, the world opens back up, and I love you use the word renaissance because it's so
right,
like just this downtime, this lagging time of nothing. And
I just hope so many artists are like powering up right now with all this, all kinds of
quit
art.
my job to go to all the shows.
Yeah,
I will say this.
I want to see new art and everything, like physical art. I want to see all of it, creative art, creative everything. I want to see it just explode after this.
Well, I am glad to see some venues are finally saying enough is enough, and they are having live music. I'm not going to mention the venues, but I've been to a couple of venues in Raleigh. One in Raleigh, one in Cary, and it's wide open live music. People are dancing, 100 people in there,
It is a double-edged sword for sure. Because I think, for us, my personal opinions on mask safety, all that stuff don't matter. What is so confusing is, when musicians are involved, it's our reputation as a business. It's these venues too. It's such a tricky thing. So as much as the musician and the live music lover in me loves to see people enjoying live music, the also educated on, general health and our situation right now also, and also how people feel about it. It's like, such a catch-22. And I've caught a lot of heat. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard I'm pretty high up on a list of worst musicians during Corona, which kind of stinks because y'all don't see, y'all see pictures of there's a
list. There is a list of worst musicians during Corona.
To be fair, I have not seen this list, so I don't know. But I've heard from multiple people that there is like a naughty list of.
Why are you on that? I'm confused.
For being busy during Corona and for continuing to play live music through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow, rude.
And not
who cares?
Not demanding that the venue like, I don't tell a venue how to run their business. You know what I mean? That's not my, they tell me how to run my business. They say play from this time to this time. And I say, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. You know what I mean? That's my job. I don't tell them how to run their business. If they want to enforce masks, that's their business. If they don't, that's not my business. And
about it, like, that's anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, people who work in major big box retailers, they still got to go to work. They still got to go and clock in.
But people feel like we as musicians should be not encouraging the pandemic. And there's so many different variables on how people feel about this, and also information about this, and rules versus opinions, you know, tangible rules versus what opinions should be. And there's both sides of the fence on, it's confusing. And I let everybody just make their individual choice, which is what I do. And businesses run their businesses how they want to run them. And if they want to hire me, I'll be happy to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like you said, though, it's a catch-22. I just hope that when this is all over,
because I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable or be, you know what I mean? Or feel like I'm making the world unsafe. That's not I don't want people to feel that way. And I don't want to do that.
Well,
you know?
I also feel that those people that think that way, just stay home. Don't put yourself in a situation that you think is unsafe.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, if you have people at home that you're worried about, if you're worried about yourself, and I understand the idea is we need to stop the spread, but, you know, I'm not gonna interrogate everyone's past and who they live with. And, you know, do you have kids at home? Do you have someone elderly? Are you around? Who are you around at work? How many people have you been around this week before you come to my show? Listen, if you chose to be here, I'm assuming you know, and you're educated about your own life, and you're educated about what is going on in the world, and you made an educated decision as an adult to be here, just as I did. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna I'm just not taking a stance, except for to not take a stance and to let everyone take their own, I guess, you know, which I guess is a stance in its own. But
yeah, well, the risk a person takes in getting in their vehicle and driving to a venue to see you play, their chances of dying in that vehicle are a lot greater than catching corona and that. So, I mean, you take it every time you get in your vehicle.
It's tricky because it's true. I mean, the more if no one goes out, nothing can spread. And that's a great, perfect world, but that's not the one I live in. And, you know, businesses are moving on, and I'm not gonna, you know, make my political stance affect my business. If people are hiring, I'm gonna be there. Yeah. You know, it's not if they're not hiring because of a situation of the world, or there's orders against it, well, then they're not hiring, and there's no place for me to do my business. No. And the decision is made for me, you know?
And, you know, me and Laura, we both had coronavirus. We both.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that have.
So, I mean, it's not like we haven't experienced it. We know, you know, I had it worse than she did. I was like, oh my God, just kill me. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So, I mean, I know what it's like, you know.
Yeah. And I think the bigger concern is not, you know, what are you putting yourself at risk for? It's what are you putting everyone else at risk for? When, if you could be a carrier for a few days, who are you exposing? But that's not my business I'm assuming everyone leaves the show and self-isolates for whatever the CDC says to do, you know?
I completely get it. I did find that song.
What's that?
I did find that song. It was Airborne Ranger cover.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
That was pretty cool. I'm probably going to put that at the end of this.
Christy Lee Cook is the original artist on that one.
Yeah, this is a really cool song.
Amazing song.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that is my dad really was, you know, he was drafted for Vietnam, and he served, and he does not have good stories to tell. And my dad is he's a man of few words when it comes to emotions. And, you know, I know he's seen his friends die at war, not because he's ever talked about it, because my mom has told me. So that song, and especially because my dad never talks about it, or never will. Like, I've never in my life seen my dad cry, ever in my life, ever. We've been through a lot as you know, family members die, and never seen my dad cry. But because he's such an honorable, strong man, like a song like that, like, oh, to think my dad in that situation. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyways, it touches, it's one of those songs, it's a cover song, but that one gets me.
That's a really good one. Yeah. That's why it stood out. Yeah, I was in the service too. So when I saw it, I was like,
thanks
let me
for your
check that out.
service.
Yeah. Yeah, really good. Really good song. You play that in your live performances?
I don't normally, but I might have to start.
Dude, yeah. So when are you playing again? You said this Thursday, right?
This Thursday.
We can't this Thursday. Damn, we got plans already.
Wait, what are we doing Thursday?
This the Umani stuff.
Oh no, they'll be fine.
No, I gotta go. So I'm gonna have to look at your schedule. You play in Clayton a lot. You know what? And I got another place you can play to if you are looking for a place in Cary. Yeah.
Send it. I'll go anywhere. Clearly, I will go anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they would have you there too. They're always looking for some new sounds,
I know.
Somebody that can rock the place. That's what we need. We need rock and
Holler at your girl. That's how we roll.
Yeah. Somebody wants to get in contact with you, book you or something like that. They can hit you up where? On Instagram, Facebook? What you got?
Yeah, all the socials. I'm on all the socials. I do all my own work as of right now. So all the booking just goes through me.
Well,
so
I feel like you're gonna have like social media relations doing that for you in the next.
I know. I got a guy that handles that whole thing. He just puts my name at the bottom of the emails,
I mean, because eventually you're going to have to, because it's going to get way too.
It's already my mind. How many mind-numbing hours of like making flyers and just communicating everything, building set lists, changing. Oh God, it's so much. It's so much.
Just pay someone else to do it. It's fine.
That's what I'm going to have to do.
Yep.
Okay, so she is at Scooter's Bar and Grill in Raleigh on April 2nd. But we're going to need something a little sooner than that. I've never heard of. Oh man, you're going to Georgia and Alabama too in March. Look at you traveling. Damn.
Yeah.
It's going to be so warm.
Going back to Georgia. And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited.
Where in Georgia are you playing?
We're playing I think it's called the Middle of Nowhere farm party.
That sounds cool.
The old legend has it that there's a pretty rocking party out there every year, and they get a lot of really, really cool artists out there to come play kind of festival style at this campus.
Duly noted.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that on the calendar.
Festivals is literally the only thing. Like I didn't think I was going to be a musician. I was not a musician ever in my life, like until I moved to Raleigh, and now I have a new life. I don't know where this came from, but
now you got fans. You've got like a fan club. What?
I know. Is it wild? What happened?
Pretty soon. Well, they got their own Facebook page, don't they?
Yeah, they took over.
If you're a fan of Stephanie Lynn, go to Facebook and join the Fox Den.
You have the Fox Den.
Join the Fox Den. I need to like that page myself.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Robbins, North Carolina? You got quite many dates there. I don't even know where Robbins is.
Robbins, yeah, that's the hemp shop. They have a hemp store out there. They they recently opened, and I told them I'd come out there if they just threw me a couple dates, because I haven't played out in that area really. It's old Goldsboro-ish.
Okay.
So I haven't really played out that way yet. And I told them if they can give me more than one, I go on and take them. So they said deal. And I said, I'll see you soon. So I'm excited to see what kind of friends we can make out that way.
Well, on June 17th through the 20th, you're going to be going to Missouri Camp Out Festival.
Yes, but there's a camp. I think it's probably assumed at this point, but they had it last year. It's kind of same thing. Kind of camp out festival style show. They have, I think, 3 days of music officially.
Oh, dude, I love it.
yeah, when I started being a musician, I was like, you know what? I'll be super happy if my band or my name can be like this small at the bottom of one of those festival flyers. You know, the old
Oh
like
yeah.
they're like they start with the big names on top and they get smaller as they go down the list. I'm like, I don't care if I'm the last one. If I can just play festivals and be surrounded by musicians, original artists, it's not like, you know, these are my people. You don't meet the people like that every day. Just because you're not just a musician, you're an entrepreneur because you have to run a business. So you're a business person and you're a musician. And it's hard, like it's like anything when you have it's like your work network, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want to learn from them. What do they do that works for them? What do they, you know, what do they what funny stories do they have or what have they experienced or what to watch out for or what to, you know,
What if you got on like
collaborating together and what's that?
you know that country music festival they have in Myrtle Beach every year?
Yeah.
I mean, what
Yeah,
if you were on that festival? I mean, to be a bottom name on that piece of paper,
I would be
that
there.
itinerary with like Luke
I know.
Bryan and Darius
Goals,
Rucker, I would love to
goals,
have my name on the same piece of paper with them.
goals, right? I
Yeah,
know.
that would be awesome. Like one of my favorite things to do every year was go to Carolina Rebellion in Charlotte. I think the last one they had was 2018, and then it changed over to the Epicenter Festival. And the first one was a shit show. It was like in Rockingham, the first Epicenter, and then the pandemic came and canceled that one. Then this year they canceled it again. But man, some of the names in the small print on those, like the Butcher Babies. I don't know if you know who the Butcher Babies are, but God, they're like big time. And one of them followed me on Twitter the other day. I was so
Oh,
happy.
really?
I was like, yes. And it's
So cool.
verified too, so it's not a fake account.
Right. So Holly Williams one time liked one of my videos of a song I was doing of her. So Holly Williams is Hank William Jr.'s daughter.
Oh,
And she's a musician and a friend of mine posted a video of me doing one of her songs, like a cover, and posted it, and Holly Williams herself liked it. So we're best friends now. Best friends. We're basically, you know.
are y'all hitting each other up in the DMs and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're basically related now. I'm just part of the family. And
Yeah, she goes to the family cookouts now.
Oh,
yeah, I'm there.
remember us little people, you know, I mean, if we come to this festival, I hope you don't act like you don't know us because we're going to walk up.
Oh, come. I roll with a squad. We got I'm serious. There's a whole crew that wants to go to the Georgia one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good time. You roll with us.
March 19th through 21st.
I guess I really got to get into country music quick.
I mean, you have to be diverse with your music. Like
Okay,
that.
so I feel like there's
Diverse with my music.
it's like, but you know how you can say, like, if you like rock music, there's so many variables, like heavy metal rock, you know,
Exactly.
Yeah. So take me through your
radio
favorites.
pop rock, you know, the old school stuff, the Metallica stuff. Like there's rock is such a big genre, and I feel like country is too.
Yeah.
Country is
People don't see it that way. They see country as kind of pop country or old school country. There is rock
Some of
country.
it is getting that way.
There's modern day Southern rock that's kind of country, and there's kind of this whole new red dirt outlaw country thing going on, which is kind of old school meets a little angry rock, grit, a little grit. Like there's so much to it. That's my favorite. I like the outlaws and the rock and roll backbones. Those are my people.
Yeah, I'm kind of the old school country guy. Some of the new stuff is okay, but you've got like, I like Eric Church, but some of his stuff's kind of like,
yeah. See,
age.
that's like radio country, you know, and I love radio country, but there's like
Florida
this whole
Georgia
other.
line.
Do you guys know like Tyler Childers and that whole genre? I feel like we just call it Tyler Childers genre. But yeah,
he is.
Oh my goodness, there's this whole little underground thing bubbling up. Oh, that's where I'm waiting for that. It's like Chris Stapleton before Chris Stapleton was Chris Stapleton kind of sound. Like Chris Stapleton is really kind of in that genre, but he's commercialized now and is doing amazing. But it's like all those guys that just are like tear your heart apart a little bit with what they're saying, you know.
Well,
It was,
you mentioned Chris Stapleton, so I want to bring this up. So I heard him on Joe Rogan, of course. I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast all the time. Chris Stapleton was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and a lot of the songs that he releases now are in his vault that he wrote like years ago. Like
I believe that.
a lot of these
I
songs,
believe that.
they're
Man has
old,
had a
10 plus
healthy
years.
career. He's got eons of music.
Yeah, it's
He's
amazing.
been out there for a minute.
Oh, yeah, he wrote songs for, was it Justin Timberlake?
Probably. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
that's how he got discovered, actually. I think Justin
Yeah,
Timberlake.
he was in a band before. I'm gonna say it wrong. Is it Steel Drivers? Steel Drivers and Steelwoods? I'm gonna say it wrong. I should know this. But they're really good. I mean, it's Chris Stapleton. So it's like if Chris Stapleton was, his band was called something else, it's that, but a little more rock. But yeah, so and he did that for a long time. That was a very successful band. Still is. They still make money off of that stuff.
Oh man, you can't even get a ticket to his concert unless you
Oh,
buy it
forget
a
it.
year in
Forget
advance.
it. I
Sick.
know.
Yeah, it's sick. I tried to go to Chris Stapleton when he came to Walnut Creek. Yeah, forget about
Yeah.
that. I had to buy that. Like,
And every once in a while they'll have a teaser. Do you see his teasers? Luke Combs is another one. Every once in a while, like Raleigh, he'll like book a show and then they'll be like, oh, cancel because Corona. And you're like, well, you booked it in Corona. You just announced it last week. Like, what?
That's rude.
I saw Luke Combs before he was a big time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw him in
I
South
love Luke
Carolina
Combs.
at a
Everyone's
little.
like, go ahead.
Was that?
I said, I love Luke Combs, but go ahead.
Oh no, I saw him at like this little shack in South Carolina. No, I'm
Isn't that
sorry.
the best,
It was
though?
outside of Savannah. It was outside of Savannah, Georgia. It was a little shack. Went in there and like there was no security. I got right up to the barricade. Like Luke Combs was like 10 feet away from me. It was amazing. And then everybody,
Isn't that
the
the
guy
best?
next to me, the guy standing next to me, I'll never forget it. He goes, man, this guy's going to be really good. His stuff's on the radio
No.
right now. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I had
That's
no
the
idea who he was.
best. That's how I feel about a lot of these country artists, not even country, just a lot of artists in the Raleigh area, especially. I'm blown away with the music scene around here because it is not that way where I'm from. There's great music in New York, great country music in New York, but there's not this insane pool of incredibly talented people everywhere. Like everywhere down here supports live music. If you can't find it, if you can't find any live music within a 5-mile radius of any city on any given night, you're not trying. You know what I mean? Like Raleigh, Clayton, any of the hot spots, there's live music happening somewhere around here, and it does not work that way other places.
I'm sure Luke Combs started just like you. You might be the next Luke.
Well, wouldn't that be cool? But I feel like sometimes I'm blown away. Like, you ever go somewhere, you see live music and you're like, I don't know how I'm here for free. Like, I don't know how I am watching, I'm enjoying this, and I didn't have to pay for a ticket. Like, this person is, it makes you enjoy it so much when you get to see people live, and especially people that like kind of cut your soul a little bit. I kind of am a little biased. I like that. I like it when someone kind of,
It hurts so good.
I like it when they sing me the sad songs. But when you're there, it happens all the time. Like Jason Adamo is one of those people you're just like, how am I seeing this guy for free? He's incredibly talented on so many different levels. I could list a million more in this area that you're like, is anyone else seeing this? Like, we are so lucky in this area to have incredible musicians here that you can enjoy and just get the gift of music all the time. It blows my mind. But Luke Combs, I couldn't even imagine seeing him ahead of time. That I can't wait to see people popping off in this area. You know, when I'm like, I want to be that person that's like, I told you guys, I told you to listen to them.
Well, look, I just don't want you to forget about the little people. I want you to come back on the show before you have all these number one hits on the radio.
Yeah.
Remember Hammered.
Yeah. That's definitely going to be me. It's definitely going to be me. So I'll be sure to give the kick back because it's coming 100%.
Yeah.
I love your humility. It sounds like you're more excited to watch like your peers in the
Yeah.
area like become successful and become famous, and you're gonna sit back and go, I knew it. Like I feel like
I
that's
told
more
you.
gratifying
I
to you
done
than
told you.
hitting the big time.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, I don't care if I do anything with music. I already made it. You know what I mean? I already get to sing songs that I wrote to people that want to hear them. Like out of nowhere, where I just wrote a sad, it just blows my mind still.
Well,
But yeah, my goal was festivals, and that's happening this year. So I'm done, skis. I made it. I'm from here on
get your
out.
name on that itinerary, that schedule. Yeah, get your name on it. Yep.
And the more stuff I do, I feel like the more I can just make my own festivals. Like, hey guys, you want to raise some money for some event? Let's do it. Like, I want to be able to just be like, hey, Stephanie Lynn called and she wants to do something, so we're gonna start making something happen. You know,
that's the spirit of Stevie Nicks rippling through your molecules.
I got a gig for you in September if you're interested. I'll talk to you.
Oh yeah, send it on down. Send it on down.
So before I let you go, I'm curious. I want to know, what's your favorite band outside of country?
Oh, outside of country?
Yeah.
Ooh, I mean, my original, my like real throwbacks where I'm really from, like I was a rock and roll screamo hardcore person. In high school and all throughout high school, I used to sing in my buddy's screamo band, and like, that was my original. Yeah,
I can see that.
so, yeah, I was a little scene stir. So I don't know, maybe I don't. Outside of, I don't know. There's so many favorite. I could say one of my favorites would be maybe Throwdown, Paramore, just so many. Everything from the 70s that was rock, and so many more. I don't know.
You got
It's such a hard
soul,
question to
you look
answer
young,
because
so you got an old soul.
so many. Oh, I'm 33. I'm 33. Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty young.
I just
You're young. Yeah.
fair. I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 45. So, I mean, yeah, when you say you're old, it's kind of like, I'm
Oh, yeah,
roll my eyes a little bit. Well, I know you're not going to say anything over there.
I'm not going to say anything, me
Exactly.
and my 31 years of life, but like, I get it. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're like, when does this turn? Perfect. Great.
So I have a quick question for you. Are you familiar with Elle King?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you remind me of her so much.
Yes. That I only recently, I feel like I've heard some of her songs on the radio, but in the past maybe year, I've kind of gotten more into her sound, her music, but I still feel like I only know a couple of her songs really, but people send them to me all the time. And they're like, this is the best song ever. Or you'd sing it good or whatever. I'm trying to work on one to pull in to start playing out. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes out there.
I'm just like, Stephanie Lynn is so cool. And then I was thinking about
Thank you.
Elle King, and I'm like, oh my God, Elle King is so cool. And I'm like, you just like remind me so much of her. And I'm like, let me make sure that she likes Elle King first before I'm like, I just think you're so cool, like Elle King.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love Elle King.
I do too.
Love her. And like her lyrics too are so, even to some of them, they're poppy and you just spit them out and you don't even realize what you're saying. But when you really listen to some of those words, you're like, oh dang, she's spitting. All right.
Yes. We want to talk about like bitter spite, like she's got it, but it's super
fun. Like Halsey. Have you seen Halsey? Have you heard Halsey's lyrics? Halsey's definitely a pop star, but oh my God,
she's mad. She's really mad.
You know what? I feel like I could leave the room right now.
Yeah, bye. Let's talk about ZZ Ward. Do you know ZZ Ward?
Some good old girl power vibes, man. Lizzo, I've been doing a Lizzo song out and people love it.
Oh yeah, I eat up Lizzo. I love Lizzo.
I love Lizzo. Have you seen her like interviews and stuff too? You just are like best friends now.
Yes, I'm like, I want to be best friends with this woman. Like she's so grounded and she's so she so beats to like her own drum. And I'm like, I'm here and I love her for
Who's
it.
Lizzo?
Just
get out.
girl power. girl power all the way around. Not the cute kind, like the that
Not the cute kind. Wait, what's
we're the savage
I
kind.
all of a sudden
not
feel
cute, like,
uncomfortable here.
Daddy's perfect angel kind of country singer or
Mm.
song or artist or whatever, not the like wholesome, like, look how great she is to everybody, so nice, like, that's great. But I'm a sucker for the
Great.
like
These female musicians are here to fuck shit up, and they do not care. I love it.
Yeah, all the girls that like rose from the ashes, or like have stories of how they have put their foot down on situations, or somebody sabotaged their entire career and they still pieced it together and rolled to the top. Like, those are my kind of people I want to hear about, those girls.
Exactly.
Well, then you got like Carrie Underwood. Like,
she's a little bit
like
about
she's got like a great relationship. She's married to a hockey player, right? Got kids, and she still trashes men in every song.
Because y'all ain't shit.
I mean, in most songs, not every song. I'm sure she's happy in some, but it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I feel like that, but to be fair, Carrie Underwood doesn't write her own song. I mean, she may write some of them, but not all of them. So she's kind of
a separate industry.
They're like, Carrie, you're shooting this right here, and we're gonna make millions.
Yeah, I like, there's no discredit to that. It's definitely it's just an entire different thing,
Yeah.
So and I don't know. I feel like the singer-songwriter ones are the ones that I personally relate to the most, because you can just, I don't know, I like it when people tell their own story, and then you can follow the real story, as it evolves, because it's real. It's not someone else's story about their relationship with their sister, or something. It's that they sold to them, and then they sang it beautifully and made it beautiful,
Yeah.
It's like an evolution of a story throughout time, and you're like, oh, like Stevie Nicks, like Lizzo, it's in her, you can hear it in her lyrics.
And we're back to Stevie Nicks. And, she was in American Horror Story too. I mean,
even Taylor Swift, love her or hate her, the homegirl has told her whole life.
Yeah.
Her whole career is open, and she did her own songwriting. She always has. I mean, that's pretty baller.
I always feel like she's always been like a very unappreciated lyricist,
I mean, to be fair, she did have some like never ever getting back together. I mean, I do see that point. Some of them are a little more pop, some of them are a little more soul, but I don't know. I mean,
there's some lines I've heard from her, I'm like, okay, Tay.
Yeah, and especially when you think about how young she was when she must have written a lot of those songs. You're like, how does she?
I just want to know who was the guy that her and Katy Perry were fighting over?
Ooh,
and who was at fault?
You lost me there. I don't know.
Oh man, they were trashing each other in each other's songs. What? But like,
I don't know. Was there a guy involved over that?
I don't follow Hollywood drama.
I mean,
I feel like they kissed and made up now, didn't they?
Like literally?
Probably.
I mean, I don't think so.
All right. Well, Stephanie,
their people call the other people, and we're like, "Hey, you want to bury the ratchet, fam? Because this is costing us a lot of money." I mean, or maybe they don't. Maybe they're like, "This is making us a lot of money. You want to drag this out?"
How do we sabotage this further?
The next album. Put it on the next album. Well, Stephanie, look, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you joined us tonight for this. It's been a lot of fun, and we need to do this again. You and Laura exchange numbers, instant bond connection. I could see this right here. Next time I'm going to exclude myself and just give you guys the whole hour.
I think that's a great idea. I should host an episode.
Why don't we
talk about some real shit?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's just some stuff that we got a lot to talk about. Let's just be honest. We can talk for it.
I'm thinking this was awesome.
We can talk.
Exactly. And if it was just me and you, it would not have gone like, it would have still been a good one, but definitely there was some girl stuff going on with the Stevie Nicks.
Oh, yeah.
Stevie Nicks would have never got brought up if it was just me.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Laura. All right, folks, this is Mike. This has been another episode of Hammered. Hey, thanks again to Stephanie Lynn for coming in. Stephanie, where can we check you out next if we're in the Raleigh Triangle area?
Ooh, this Thursday at Tavern on the Green. We're gonna be at Scooters. Shortly after that, I'll be in Benson and Fainting Goat at the end of April. But check me out on the social medias because I can't keep track of my own schedule at this point.
Hey, and if you got Facebook, go to Stephanie Lynn Music 112 on Facebook, and you can like her there. All right, folks, this is Mike. That's Laura, and I'll see you in the next episode of Hammered. Peace.
Bye.